Another 100 people just got off of the train.
Welcome to the Broadway Almanac. I'm George Hardy, your host. Stephen Sondheim died the day after Thanksgiving last year at the age of 92. Critics and theater fans have long hailed him as a genius, but many more casual theater goers, raised on Rodgers and Hammerstein or Cole Porter, found him to be difficult. As I heard one lady remark at intermission during a recent performance of Company, well, maybe I'll understand it in the second act. He has been called a genius by many over the years, not to his face, of course, that is always embarrassing. But the man was keenly aware of his talent and very self-assured of it. One definition of genius I read once goes like this, that a person can possess a talent, but genius possesses the person. And I wish I could have asked Mr. Sondheim if he feels that his talent possesses him or the other, that he is in control of his talent. Meryl Seacrest's enlightening biography of Sondheim indicates that the answer could go either way. Company in 1970 was the first show that sounded like the Stephen Sondheim that we know today. It was admired rather than liked. It was a compelling story without a plot, with songs that could not be broken out as pop hits. The Sondheim song is tailored for very specific dramatic situations, which is their greatest strength and greatest limitation. Strength because they are written for specific dramatic situations. They are the story, the plot. Limited because, mostly, they cannot be isolated from their staging, sung alone, without that song losing some of its effectiveness. So what is Company about if there is no plot? In a 1970 interview in the New York Times, he said, "It is about how difficult it is to be married and how much more difficult it is not to be married. It is about the generation gap, about those caught between contrasting attitudes toward a permanent commitment." And it was the first show where Sondheim had full artistic control in his challenge to boil down the 11 short plays by George Furth into one cohesive evening. So after writing lyrics only for West Side Story and Gypsy and Do I Hear a Waltz with music by Richard Rodgers, after the failure of Anyone Can Whistle and the vaudeville throwback of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, after 13 years with Company, Stephen Sondheim finds his own true voice. Well, that's your Broadway Almanac, brought to you by the A Night on the Town Broadway Theater Trips. On the web at anightonthetown.org. I'm George Hardy, your host. So long until next time.